Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the inaugural launch of the Our Children, Their Future event in honor of the amazing Michael E. Gerber and his legacy. My name is Rich Boggs. I'm the enrollment director for the Brave Thinking Institute, one of the many companies celebrating and supporting this event tonight that has been directly impacted by Michael's amazing work. Tonight, we celebrate love, we celebrate life as we raise money for this year's three amazing selected charities. Number one, the BNI Foundation. Number two, the Unstoppable Foundation. And number three, Advocates of Love. Starting this year and every year, we will be dedicating Michael E. Gerber's annual birthday celebration to the fundraising for charities that support children around the world and their futures, creating a legacy, a lasting legacy for this Our Children, Their Future event. Now, if you haven't already, I want to invite you tonight, and I'll be inviting you throughout the evening tonight. We've got about 60 minutes here together to open up your hearts and open up your wallets to help support our cause. This is your opportunity tonight to be a philanthropist. Now, I know many of you that are watching tonight are already givers in a major way, and we so appreciate that. Many of you tonight have already given to the BNI Foundation, to Advocates of Love, to the Unstoppable, and yet there are children in need around the world, and this is an opportunity for you in a very fresh, brand new kind of restart, reboot way right now to give, and to give in a way that stretches you. That's the opportunity tonight to be part of something brand new, starting now, in a way that you know, while it stretches you, it has the impact far, far, far beyond you. The ripple effect of your gift tonight will touch children in ways that you will never even know. And the ripple effect of that work will live far beyond you and far beyond me. That is our cause tonight. And I invite you to step in and give in a way that you know will really have an impact in your life, as well as the lives of all of these children. So here's how to give. And you can do so at any time tonight by going to www.giveoctf.com. OCTF stands for Our Children, Their Future. So go to giveoctf.com. That'll take you directly to our fundraising page on GoFundMe. And 100% of your donations collected tonight goes directly to our charities. So all of your money goes to impact. That's important for you to know. Each charity receiving 1/3 of the total amount raised tonight. And our goal tonight is to raise $1 million. I think it's going to be pretty easy with these amazing, amazing people just like you attending the event tonight. So you can hold with me. By the end of the hour, we have raised $1 million. In addition to all those who are donating, we'll be posting your names on our donors page. So write this down, go to ourchildrentheirfuture.com/donors, and you can see your name celebrated in black and white throughout the night tonight. So without further ado, it's not often that one gets to introduce a true legend, a world-renowned thought leader, entrepreneur, author. That is my privilege right now. In fact, Michael E. Gerber is so much more than that. He has touched the lives of more business owners, managers, entrepreneurs over the past 40 years throughout the world than any other individual has. His E-Myth books have been named by the Wall Street Journal as the single most influential business book of all time. His companies have coached, mentored, trained, facilitated more than 100,000 business clients in 145 countries, as well as this guy wrote the textbook for entrepreneurs and businesses in over 118 universities around the world. His books are among the top selling books of all time in the Wall Street Journal, New York Times, the Wall Street Journal, Business Week, Inc. magazine, and so many more. In fact, it was Inc. magazine that first called Michael E. Gerber the world's #1 small business guru. The world's #1 small business guru. I know many of you already know this. And it is his many evangelists, myself included, throughout the world, who simply call him the man. I was introduced to his work in 2003. I had started my third company as a serial entrepreneur, and thank goodness that my IT partner, a man named Kevin, handed me the E-Myth. I had never read the book. It was my third company, and the E-Myth was it was a cornerstone cornerstone and the responsibility of how I grew that company, managed that company, systematized everything, documented everything, Gerberized that entire company. I sold that company in 2011, a dream come true moment for any serial entrepreneur. And it was Michael E. Gerber and the E-Myth. That was a big, big part of that for me. So may I introduce to you now the man, the E-Myth master himself, the inventor of the iconic phrase, go to work on your business, not in your business. The man who has chosen to make his birthday about our children and their future. Please, let's give a warm, authentic, robust welcome, ladies and gentlemen, Michael E. Gerber.
Hello. Yes, here I am, Michael E. Gerber, celebrating my 85th birthday. I can hardly believe it, can you? I've been on this planet 85 plus years, doing it, all for one purpose. I've said it, and I'll say it again, every life a legacy. And what does that mean? That means if you were to go right now, whatever you've done up to this point in time is the legacy you're leaving behind. For whom? For our kids, for their kids, for their kids. And that's what I want you to think about as we celebrate not just my life, but the passion I've experienced, my wife and I have participated in creating a world that works, in creating a world that works for everyone. So I want you to think about that as we move forward today. I want you to think about creating a world that works better than anyone ever imagined the world could work. We're here to celebrate life. We're here to celebrate our children's lives. We're here to make a commitment unlike any commitment we have made up to this point in time. From this day forward, in year 86, in year 87, in year 94 or 5, or you name it, we're here to make a difference. I thank you for joining me in this celebration.
Wow. Thank you, Michael. The vision for your legacy, so inspiring. And tonight, as you continue to open up your hearts and support this great legacy, we want to give back to you, this community as well. So feel us as I announce these gifts and these opportunities tonight. Feel us reaching out for you, to partner with you, to motivate and inspire you tonight to give, to partner with us in this amazing work that we're in together. So any amount tonight, you give any amount and you'll receive a free gift to the E-Myth experience live in London. Next, anyone that gives $50 or more will have a chance to win a seat to Radical You Year 1. That's a $479 value. There are 50 spots available to anyone that gives $50 or more. Anyone that gives $100 or more will have a chance to win 2 60-minute mentoring sessions with Michael. There are 2 spots available. That is worth thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. That's 2 60-minute mentoring sessions with Michael. If you give $100 or more, you'll have a chance to win one of those 2 spots. Now, anyone that gives $5,000 will have a chance to win 6 90-minute one-on-one mentoring sessions with Michael. That is a $30,000 value. There is 1 spot available. That's to somebody that gives $5,000 or more. And anyone that gives $10,000 or more tonight, you'll have a chance to win 1 entire year of personal mentoring with Michael E. Gerber himself. That's $120,000 value. There is 1 spot available, and you will enter into that opportunity when you give $10,000 or more tonight. So stay tuned. All of our winners will be announced at the end of this event tonight, and there's no amount too small, no amount too large. Every dollar matters. You might be somebody that giving $50 tonight is a real stretch for you. You might be somebody that knows you've got $50,000 earmarked to give to some work that's larger than you in the world. And tonight is your night. That might be you. But just imagine right now creating something that will outlive you, that will serve your children's children's children. the ripple effect of our work tonight. Imagine tonight you give something where you know you stretched. You stretched to give, knowing that when we give, we receive. When your head hits the pillow tonight, you'll know that you gave tonight in a new way. And when your feet hit the floor tomorrow, you'll know that there is some child in the world whose life will never be the same because of you. And that children's children and their children, their lives will never be the same because of the support, the direct impact from you and your gift tonight. Your donations will support and transform the state of children's lives 100 years from now, all around the world in places like Africa, the Dominican Republic, Asia, here in the US, and many, many more countries. Tonight, you're going to have a chance to hear from our charities, from some of Michael's dear friends and partners, and much more. Now, first, I want to introduce a personal friend of mine, an amazing woman, Cynthia Kersey of the Unstoppable Foundation. Cynthia is an entrepreneur, a best-selling author, a CEO, a humanitarian with an unstoppable mission. Cynthia Kersey has dedicated her life's work to empowering and inspiring others. She was already a successful entrepreneur and business owner and author before founding the Unstoppable Foundation back in 2008. Through her work as a leader and visionary within the business and personal development arena, Cynthia has empowered countless lives as an international speaker, a coach, and through her 2 best-selling books, Unstoppable and Unstoppable Women. Now, during a 2006 trip to Kenya, Cynthia saw firsthand the devastating effects of how a lack of access to education and vital services like healthcare and clean water perpetuates the cycle of poverty. So, leaving her business behind, Cynthia turned her full attention to tackling this problem, and the Unstoppable Foundation was born. Since its inception, the Unstoppable Foundation has funded the mobilization and empowerment of more than 80,000 men, women, and children by providing access to education, clean water, nutrition, healthcare, and income training. Cynthia Kersey not only is a good friend of mine and a good friend of the Brave Thinking Institute. One of the charities that we give to every year is the Unstoppable Foundation. I had the chance to go to Kenya with Cynthia 2 summers ago. And I had the chance to firsthand literally get my hands dirty, get my feet wet, building some schools for some amazing girls in the Masai Mara. I was changed by the giving that I did to the Unstoppable Foundation, and I know you will be as well. So let me introduce to you my friend, a fantastic woman with a big heart and an even bigger laugh, a philanthropist like no other. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Cynthia Kersey.
Thank you so much, Rich, for your great introduction. And I want to thank you, Michael and Luz, for really supporting the Unstoppable Foundation. And for Michael, you're using your 85th birthday in such a meaningful way. Just very quickly, I started this work through a birthday party as well as my 50th birthday party. And I had used or integrated philanthropy in my business. I'm an author and a speaker. And back in 2005, my second book, Unstoppable Women, came out, and I'm looking for that next project. And out of the blue, I'm invited to a rural African women conference. And I just felt like I should go. I booked a ticket. I flew over there. And for 5 days, I heard women speak about stories that moved me, upset me, and inspired me to do something. And the first story, and the story I heard over and over, was really the story of girls. This girl was named Grace, and her life, every single morning she was up at dawn, she carried this yellow jerry can, walked to the river barefoot and over muddy, rocky terrain to fetch water for her family. And this water was important because even though it was contaminated and dirty, it helped feed, their animals. The family used it for bathing, for drinking, for cooking. So it was really important. And she would get home. She dumped this water into a trough. Her mother would embrace her. And she knew that Grace was hungry, but she had no food to give her. And instead of going to school like our children would be doing, she would pick up that jerry can again and off to the river, sometimes miles, to be able to continue to fetch water from dawn until dusk. And if you're like me, when I heard that story, I had never had to experience my child fetching water to help us survive, knowing it was contaminated and having to have them drink water that I knew would make them sick. And as I heard their stories, I first off felt huge compassion, and then I just got really ticked off because I thought, how is it okay that just by virtue of where you're born, this is what your child's future look like? And the challenge is, this is the situation that families face every day in the sub-Saharan Africa. Nearly half of the children around the world that aren't in school live in the sub-Saharan Africa. And what that means is girls not only typically don't have a future, but they're married off to men, 2-3 times their age at the age of 12 themselves. And so I heard these stories. I was touched, and there was that little voice that said, you should do something. And I thought, how am I going to do anything? What do I know? And as we were leaving, we hugged each other and we just, fell in love with each other. And the women started pleading with me. They said, please don't forget us. And I thought, how could I forget you? But what can I do? So I went home, I did some research, and I found out some things that shocked me and actually disturbed me. As we all know, millions and millions and millions of dollars have been raised and donated to really good, meaning organizations. And yet in 3 to 5 years, those who built schools, those schools would be empty. And I'm thinking, why are they empty? And I realized you can build a school, but if you're not providing access to clean water, little girls like Grace, they're not in school, they're fetching water. And if you don't provide access to essential medical treatment, when children are sick, they're not in school. And in this area of the world, children are sick quite frequently. And if you don't provide nutritious food, they're hungry. Many of these families can't even source one meal a day for their children. I mean, imagine that. And if you don't provide a way for the parents to generate an income, it can't sustain itself. So I thought, oh, great. Not only do I need to build schools for these communities, but you need to provide all of these other things. So I came up with an idea called Sponsor a Village. And I found an implementing partner that would go in with us, and they would build schools, and they would build access to clean water and provide nutritious food for the students. And it transformed their life. When we started, only 10% of the students were little girls. Now it's over 50%. They're thriving because they have well-lit classrooms that are safe, that are secure. They have access to clean water right at the school. And they get a nutritious meal every single day. There's an organic garden at this school. And as importantly, parents are learning how to generate an income so that they never need charity again. And so that's really why we're here. It's for me, it's the families, it's the communities that are still waiting. We're in 17 communities in Kenya. Over 80,000 men, women, and children have access to these life-saving services and to a quality education. And yet there's too many that are waiting. And when you think about a child, imagine your child having to wait 5 years to be able to go to school, 5 years to have access to clean water, 5 years to have access to healthy, nutritious food. What we know is that children will die. So I'm so grateful for Michael and Luz for inviting me, because we have a proven solution. We have a system. We have partners on the ground that are waiting to take that next community off the waiting list. So I'm grateful and excited to speak with you all, to invite you to open your heart. You have such a great opportunity to be a philanthropist, to be able to change lives, save lives, and really give families, their children, a future and an opportunity to really create their own destiny. So thank you so much, and God bless you. Right now, in a village in the heart of Kenya, there's a family waiting for their daughter to have the chance to go to school. And they're waiting because we told them if they could hold out just a little longer, we could find others to come together and help them. There are plenty of well-intentioned organizations that have built schools in developing countries, but in 3 to 5 years, they're empty. Why are they empty? Because you can build a school, but if girls have to spend all day fetching water, they're not able to make it to a classroom.
Nilikuwa na miaka 8 wakati nilianza kuchota maji. Nilikuwa siendangi shule. Nilikuwa nachota maji saa 4. Lakini huko haikuwa mbali. Sasa hiyo unaenda mtoni ndio unaenda vizuri, lakini ukirudi iko mamlima.
If they're malnourished or sick and don't have access to basic health care, they're not going to be in school.
Khi mi betut nekin kokoto agere kasich tuten alenji agere apchei alen abokyi lagochu kwam aletu oamisien akomach aleni oamisien ako kotor kotar kityo akas abaibaitu ale takasich lagok.
And if the parents have no way to generate an income, the children have to stay at home and work to help their family survive.
So ingen keny kokamyan lakwet ko kit nekikiyoe kora sikesich rabinik ko kikibendi kora kwenichukan kimami kit age tugul ako kiyoche kebe sipitali ko kibur en sipitali kikake amun en tabutab rabinik nemomi kot koit ot kora kinyokialda mbar.
The only way to ensure children are able to stay in school is through a model that changes everything. The Unstoppable Foundation is a different kind of charity because we do more than just build schools. We work hand in hand with our partners on the ground to remove the barriers that keep children from going to school, ensuring every child has access to a quality education, but so much more. Clean water, healthcare, nutritious food, and training for the parents to generate an income so that the kids of the village can stay in school and thrive. Our 5-pillar model changes everything. And by seeing the impact of our model and the real difference we're making, our supporters have discovered something completely unexpected. That by giving of themselves, they are truly receiving the gift.
Working with all these communities here with the Unstoppable Foundation, to see what effect and impact it has been extraordinary, and it feels unbelievable.
The Unstoppable Foundation is making a lasting difference, one village at a time.
I have a very good and conducive environment for learning to take place. We have our classes which are very warm and dry, and also we usually study very hard, like waking up very early in the morning and going to sleep very late in the evening. This is because we really want to use our time that we have been given here to really make a difference in our lives so that we can become a great people in future. We feel motivated and inspired to become a great person.
We've accomplished so much bringing education and life-saving services to thousands of children and their families. Each time we take another village off the waiting list, it's because of our partnerships with people like you who care and want to make a difference. But for the villages we haven't reached yet, they're still waiting. If you're a parent and your child has to wait 3 to 5 years to go to school, they may miss their one opportunity to get an education. And if they have to wait 3 to 5 years for clean water, health care, nutritious food, children will get sick and die. That is unacceptable.
we're committed to taking the next village off the waiting list and then the next, because we know our motto will change everything for these children and their families. But we can't do it alone. We need your help. Join us. Together, we are unstoppable.
Cynthia Kersey, thank you for all you have done for our children and their future around the world. If Cynthia's message has resonated with you, I encourage you right now to give, to stretch, to serve these children around the world and partner with us in serving this mission to raise the money that we are here to raise tonight. If you're just joining us, you can donate directly at the following website. So write this down, www.giveoctf.com. OCTF stands for Our Children, Their Future. GiveOCTF.com is where you go. All your donations are 100% tax deductible, and 100% of your dollars goes directly to impact as we evenly split the donations tonight between these three amazing companies. Help us and help the children realize this collective dream to create momentum for this great cause and this great legacy while we celebrate Michael E. Gerber's 85th birthday tonight. Next, we'd like to invite two of Michael's dear friends and partners, Chris Ronzio of Trainual.com and Ron Miller, founder of StartEngine.com. Over to you guys.
Hey Michael, it's Chris. I have to take a minute just to thank you for the incredible opportunity and abundance and happiness and everything I'm experiencing in my life right now, because compared to earlier in my career, it is totally night and day. I learned how to be an entrepreneur early on in a big way through your book, like we've discussed. And when I compare my life now to my life when I first started my business, it is insane, the difference. I just got back from a vacation with my family where I had my two young boys and my wife, and we're taking a gondola and hiking through the mountains and totally detached and disconnected from my business because I know that it's running like it should be. And I know that I have leaders in place that are able to take care of it while I'm gone, that I am not the business, that the business is beyond me. And that's a lesson that I learned early on from you. So thank you for this opportunity. I'm so grateful. Earlier in my career, I wouldn't even dream of taking vacations. And now I have 3 scheduled for the next month. It's hot here in Arizona, so I've got to get out of the heat. And I'm grateful to even be able to do that. So I'm so happy with the opportunity and the abundance I'm surrounded with. And I'm so happy to call you a friend.
Hello, Michael Gerber family. This is Ron Miller calling. And I just want to say that I'm honored just to give a few words today and how the learnings that I've had from Michael and of course the E-Myth have changed my life and actually helped me change the life of others. So basically I met Michael through the Entrepreneurs Organization back in the 1990s, and he taught me and a bunch of my young entrepreneurial friends so many powerful things about how to run a company, way more than I ever learned in business school. And throughout my years, I've now started and exited from 4 different companies over the course of my career. But importantly, it's this last one that I think may have had the most meaning. And that is that basically I use the wisdom, the knowledge, the experience that I learned from Michael and the E-Myth to help me house people that were formerly homeless. So currently we've got 57 people housed in a community we call Haven. And what we do is we use the same exact ways, the thoughtfulness around how to systemize a business and to create great process, to create great outcomes. And so for that, I am ever so grateful, and I really appreciate the opportunity. And I sometimes think of my wisdom that Michael gave me as the gift that just keeps giving. And I hope that it continues to give in your life like it did in mine. Have a great evening.
Thank you, Chris and Ron, for joining us this evening and for those lovely words. Just like Michael changed Chris and Ron's lives, you can make that same impact on these children's lives tonight. So show your love, show your giving, and celebrate life tonight by changing the lives of others. This brings up a quote by Michael Gerber that I love. Michael says, "We must look at ourselves more seriously. Stop thinking about how you're going to get by and start pondering what you're going to leave behind. Who am I? Why am I here? Ask those questions. And then Michael invites us to bring the answers to those questions to bear on everything we do every day. So I invite you with Michael to bring that question to bear in your life right now. Who are you? Why are you here? And what are you destined to leave behind? Let's support our children and their legacy. Let's wake up tomorrow knowing we made a difference today. Next, I'd like to introduce to you the chairman, Kevin Barber, and vice chairman, David Kaufman of the BNI Foundation. Kevin Barber launched his first BNI chapter in 2005 in Heidelberg, Germany. He is currently responsible for the region Germany Southwest with 39 chapters and more than 1,200 members and a support team of 4 area directors and 40 director consultants. His chapters have generated a cumulative total of more than $400 million in closed business. After 24 years of working as a CPA, the audit and services sectors is where he works. He claimed to have had no idea what networking was when he started his BNI career. Kevin is regularly invited to speak internationally about changing the way the world does business. Now, David Kaufman is the managing director and senior director consultant for 5 BNI regions, referred to as the BNI Delaware Valley regions. BNI DVR has surpassed 125 chapters, continues to grow. David's been on several advisory and executive boards, including the Ardmore Initiative, the Delaware County Community Foundation, the Haverford JCC, and the College Settlement Camp. In addition, he founded and operates the Adaptive Aquatic Program for the Haverford YMCA, working with special needs children. Let's open our hearts and invite my new friends, Kevin and David of the BNI Foundation. Over to you guys.
That was a great introduction. Thank you. Almost like you've known me for years. So thank you. Great job. We've been doing this in the BNI Foundation since 1998. BNI is a business network in 72 countries with around 280,000 business owners working together to help each other become more successful and grow their businesses. And since 1998, the BNI Foundation has been helping children get a better education. So what we do, we focus on children and education, not our own projects, but we work with other foundations, charities around the world which already work with children and education. For 2021, it is our aim, coming out or hopefully coming out of the COVID situation, that we will be able to provide mentoring, strength, conversation partners, support to children around the world who haven't had a lot of that in the last 12 months. We're focusing on a part of the BNI Foundation which we call Business Voices. So there are 2 elements to the BNI Foundation. One is givers gain grants, the money coming in and money coming out. But we have 280,000 people around the world who work together using the motto, givers gain. I help you, you help me, and we'll both be better off as a result. So we want to use these 280,000 members to help children around the world stabilize themselves again after the pandemic and get to a point in their lives when they can leave school and actually be prepared for what comes ahead. You know, children are 80%, start that bit again. You know, children are 20% of the world, but 100% of our future. And the children in our world at the moment, they will become our customers, our suppliers, our employees, our policemen, our IT technicians, our NGO leaders, our introducers of speakers, our policemen and our politicians. It's going to be left to the children of this world to sort out the problems that you and I either caused, didn't prevent, or just tried and couldn't solve. So we believe within BNI that children need values which are cooperation, support, trust and respect. And that is our purpose for the next 12 months at least, is to help children in all the countries which BNI is active in to get connections with adults so that these adults can help them become better adults. I don't think I know anything else, so I'm going to stop now. That's all I really wanted to say. Thank you.
Rich, thank you very much for that wonderful introduction. I truly appreciate it. I'd like to say thank you to Michael for having this great opportunity to speak at his birthday celebration. So my name is David Kaufman, and I've been involved in the BNI Foundation for about 18 years. About 18 years ago, one of our co-founders, Beth Meisner, grabbed me at a conference and said, "What do you think about children in our future?" And I said, "I think they're very important." She said, "Great, come over here to our table." And that started my journey with the BNI Foundation. So I have been supporting children in any way I can. I think the value of children in our future is just so important. So as Kevin's already said, there are two parts to the BNI Foundation. We have the Giver's Gain part, which is as you said, the money in, the money out. And I do a lot of work with the Business Voices part. Business Voices is our members helping children in 72 countries around the world. And the way we work is we reach out to the communities. We reach out to teachers, to caregivers, to children around the world, and we find out what problems they have. And then the BNI Foundation solves those problems. So sometimes it's school supplies. Sometimes it's a clean bathroom. Sometimes it's food. Sometimes it's supporting the teachers that don't get enough support from the school districts. And the BNI Foundation and our 280,000 members around the world do a fabulous job at solving problems so that children can get a better education, because they are our future. And there's no better way to create a better future for this world than to support our children. And one of the beliefs that the BNI Foundation has, as Kevin said, children are 20% of the population, but 100% of our future. And we at BNI believe in our hearts that the BNI Foundation is changing the way business sees children in the world. And we can truly make a difference if we all pull together and we work as a team. Thank you very much. I'm very happy to be at this birthday party, and I'd like to thank everyone who's contributing to the three causes that are being supported here tonight. Thank you.
The BNI Foundation has had a global focus on children and education since its inception. Now we are leaning into an awareness campaign that we call Business Voices. We believe that business can be noble. That is, we as business owners are uniquely positioned to create a conduit for desperately needed resources to flow between us and the kids who need our help. We have been listening closely to today's youth as they express what they need the most. You might be surprised to hear that they both need and benefit most from personal interaction with people like you and me, and the ability to build relationships that help change the trajectory of their lives. They need us to be in their story. Business Voices is launching a movement as a way to inspire and encourage business owners to evaluate what they have to give and to get connected to the programs that need our time, our talent, and our treasure. We want to improve schools, reaching into communities and lending a hand to help out, using noble networking as a powerful tactic to bring positive change. We are providing the opportunities to support schools and educational organizations through our movement. I have just one question for you. Whose story will you be in?
Thank you, Kevin and David, for using your life and the BNI resources to transform our children's lives and their futures. We are so grateful for you both. For all of you joining us tonight, this is your chance, if you have not already, to make a lasting impact on our children's lives and give these beautiful foundations the support that they require to do their work. There are children tonight whose lives will not be impacted without you. So if that still small voice in you is nudging you right now to give, or give in a bigger way, your life will change when you listen to that voice and take some action tonight and partner with us and change some lives. Your generosity tonight will outlive you. So let's create this legacy of love and life together. You can donate at giveoctf.com. That's the word give, and OCTF stands for Our Children, Their Future.com. Any amount, large or small, will make a difference. Now, for our different giving opportunities and raffles, and for more information, you can go to ourchildrentheirfuture.com/partners. you'll see on that page, all of our winners will be announced and the donors will be announced at the end of this program. All that will be shared at the end of the program and posted on that partners page. So make sure to have that page up on your browser. You'll see a quick view also of what we're giving away tonight, just to say thank you for your spirit of generosity. Again, we appreciate you. Now, let's welcome more of Michael's friends and partners, Heather Sioka and Ivan Meisner.
Happy birthday, my friend, Michael Gerber. Happy 85th birthday. I just wanted to send you this message telling you that you have absolutely changed my life. Your book, I read it, I followed it, I built a company, and by changing my life, it has had a ripple effect to change hundreds of thousands of other people's lives. I am so glad, so blessed that you are in my life, and I just wanted to take this opportunity to reach out to you and wish you a happy 85th birthday. I hope you have many more to come, my friend. It's always great to hear you and see you. I look forward to connecting and meeting in person again as soon as possible. This is Ivan Meisner. I'm the founder of BNI. Thank you so much, and happy birthday, Michael.
Thank you, Michael and Luz Delia, for the opportunity to share with you today. I have had the honor of training and being mentored by Michael over the last couple of years. He's also been instrumental in coaching and mentoring many of the leaders in our business to transformational growth in a business. He has shown us how to take a business from a business of 1 to a business of 100 to a business of thousands. And I thank you so much for taking eMyth worldwide and transforming the landscape, the entrepreneurial landscape in North America. I work in a financial services company where I teach agents how to help clients become financially bulletproof. As we help families take control of their personal finances and make decisions to systematize their financial life so that they can do better, we're able to change someone's entire landscape, their personal and their financial landscape. Showing people how to take control permeates not only their finances, but also their personal life and how they're able to give. And the more we're able to influence people at this ground floor level, the more we can influence the world. I have been blessed by having many mentors in my life, mothers who have encouraged me to be a better mother, friends who have challenged me to be a better friend, business women and men who have challenged me to be a better contributor. And I think we all have an obligation to be a better contributor. As we've been given so much, we've grown up. I grew up, I've never been hungry, I've never been homeless, I've never feared for my life. And because I was born at the right place, in the right time, in the right country, in one of the greatest and one of the wealthiest countries in North America. And as those of us who have enough, we have an obligation to give to others. And I'm so proud of Michael and Luz Delia for this opportunity that you've taken to help children of the world, to help children who have not been blessed as we have been, to show them how they deserve more and how they can get more. Thank you, Michael and Luz Delia, for this opportunity to share. Lorand and I have been blessed by having you in our life. You've changed our life, you've changed our business, and you've changed the business of our agents as we have been transformed by you. Thank you so much. Continue giving, continue mentoring, and I wish you all the best.
Heather, I couldn't have said it better myself. Many of us are so privileged and so blessed. Our poorest are often other countries' wealthy. I would encourage you right now to move on your generosity. If your spirit is feeling a quickening in any way at the thought of making an impact tonight through a gift, I invite you to move on that feeling and do it now. I encourage you to give right now. Move on that spirit of generosity. Move on that spirit of having a lasting impact. Let's provide these children with the resources we take for granted every day. And you can give, again, if you're just joining us, at giveoctf.com. That's Give Our Children Their Future, octf.com. That webpage will be up all night, that URL, making it easy for you to have that impact. Now, we are more than halfway through our event, but we would not even have this opportunity if it weren't for the heart of the Michael E. Gerber companies, the CEO, Luz Delia Gerber and her passion for the well-being of our children and their future. Luz Delia Gerber, her intent is to inspire more joy in your life. Anyone that meets her knows that she is at her best inspiring people. She is the CEO and co-founder of the Michael Gerber Companies, of Prodigy Business Books, and Radical You. So let's welcome Michael's business partner and lovely wife. Ladies and gentlemen, Luz Delia Gerber.
Hello, my name is Luz Delia Gerber, and I am the CEO and president of the Michael Gerber Companies. I have the amazing opportunity of honoring my husband and his great legacy. When I thought about this event and what I would share, I thought about my dream when I was 12 years old. When I would come home from school, I would prepare supper, do my homework, support my siblings, take care of whatever needed to get done. So when my parents got home, we would have family time. Then we would watch TV. And the one program that was the most enticing to me was The Millionaire. I remember so many episodes of this program that I was in love with it, and I had to see it every single day. The one thing that was the most exciting for me was one time there was a story about children, and there were always stories about children, but this one was in particular all children. And there were so many obstacles in that family and sicknesses and just all kinds of problems. And they receive $1 million from the millionaire. And things just turned around. Something happened. There were enough funds. There were people supporting them. And it was a great experience for me to see that a community can come together to support a family, right? So it's going back to family. And so I knew that at one point I would do that too. I remember the moment when I said, I can do that. I want to do that. And that's been with me since I was 12. And I know other people, when I shared it with them and my excitement about it, I was like a 5-year-old little kid. My family or our neighbors or whatever, they would say, why do you want to give the money away? Why would you give the $1 million away instead of taking it for yourself? That thought never came to me. And it just didn't seem that that's what turned me on. It was about making a difference to somebody else. So God gave me 3 beautiful daughters, 5 beautiful grandbabies, my first great grandbaby coming up. And I know that the Bible, given that I'm a PK, that the Bible says that it is my duty as a parent to make the future of my children better. And so here I am, inspired by Cynthia, that she's taking on this huge opportunity and participating with what we're doing and sourcing and serving children in ways that I hadn't thought about. And even though this was my dream of a 12-year-old, it's like, I'm going to do that one day, but I haven't done it yet. And this is the beginning, so that our children's children are born into perfection, which was a dream that I had later on. And 100 years from now, we will have children that their hearts are filled with ongoing opportunities to serve in a way that we can't imagine. So thank you for participating and making the life of a child or children throughout the world something that we will remember in perpetuity. Thank you.
Thank you, Luz Delia, for your lovely words of inspiration. Wow. Tonight is all about inspiration, as we are inspired to transform the state of children's lives all around the world and for decades to come. That is our work tonight. Tonight's about opening your heart. Tonight's about showing some kindness. And tonight's about transforming the lives of children in need. Children that, without you tonight, will go without basic necessities like food, like water, like education, like a safe place to lay their head down and sleep. These lives will be changed tonight if you lean in, if you give. And I think you're here for a reason tonight. I don't think it's just because there's an opportunity to give. I think tonight, by leaning into the spirit of generosity, the spirit of gratitude for all that you've been given, and passing that along, paying that forward, I believe tonight, because you're here, you just might be changed. You just might be transformed through some giving. So I invite you to lean into that. We can all be transformed together as we transform the lives of these children around the world. You can donate tonight at any time by going to giveoctf.com. Again, OCTF stands for Our Children, Their Future. Giveoctf.com at any time. And now I have an amazing man to introduce. Last but certainly not least, we're going to hear from our third charity's founder, Michael Clark of Advocates of Love. On the surface, Mike is an accomplished husband and father of 3. He's got over 21 years of experience in the background screening industry. Mike graduated in 1997 with a degree in criminal justice from Syracuse University. His skills and expertise led him to operate 2 successful companies over 19 years, and both companies were very successfully acquired. As a devout Christian, Mike has spent much of his life dedicated to his ministry work, but in 2012, he felt God call him to take it one step further. So after a mission trip to an orphanage in the Dominican Republic, Mike felt led down a new path. And in 2013, Advocates of Love officially opened its doors in Samana, Dominican Republic. They now house 16 children. Over the next year, they will be building a brand new campus that will allow them to accommodate up to 24 kids. And for the last 8 years, Mike has worked as the executive director on a volunteer basis. This is a season of his life where he's focused on using his past success to significantly help orphans in distress. Let's welcome this amazing man as he shares his heart and passion for our children and their future with you and with me. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in welcoming Mike Clark.
Thank you, Rich, for that great introduction, and Feliz cumpleaños, Michael. That's happy birthday in Spanish. I just thank you so much to all of you, especially Unstoppable Foundation and BNI. It's just a privilege to be on the same platform, sharing in the same cause, the future of the children of this world. My name is Mike Clark. I'm the founder and executive director of Advocates of Love. We began in 2013. I was, at the time, I was a businessman, father of 3 and a husband. And I went on a trip as a chaperone with some youth from my church, my local church. And that trip turned into a calling for me to use my time, talents, as well as my treasures towards the future of children. Subsequently, we ended up in Samana province, all the way in the northern part of the Dominican Republic, and began the first organization of orphan and vulnerable care to children in the entire province. And fast forward some 8 years later, we're still the only organization there in the entire province serving children. We just finished our second campus, actually did that successfully through COVID timing, which was much the challenge, even 8 years in, being somewhat established in the area, as well as you guys have dealt with so many difficulties during COVID. We found ourselves building our second campus. It had begun before COVID, and we stayed the course, and we finished here in September, and that allows us to reach more children throughout our province. I'm just excited to, like I said, to be a part of the platform that you guys are on, trying to reach support for the great work and to create legacies throughout the giving and the donors that can come behind us and help support the work that we're all doing. Thank you.
Fue muy mal, pasé mucho trabajo.
Mamá me daba, pasé mucho tiempo.
Y yo también era delincuente, yo participaba en algunas de las actividades que ellos hacían. Por ejemplo, robar, atracar.
Mi madre se murió y mi padre estaba enfermo.
Mi papá vive en Higüey, pero también me daba.
A mí también me caían atrás para quitarme la vida.
¿Dónde tú dormías antes, cuando estabas en la calle?
En un banco.
¿Y comías mucho?
No.
Yo no sabía ni siquiera la A porque yo vivía en la calle y desde pequeño a mí nunca me apuntaron en la escuela.
Mi mamá se murió cuando tenía 6 años. Mi papá se enfermó y no nos podía cuidar, fuimos donde mi tía. Tampoco no podía tener.
En realidad me sentía oprimido y aterrado de perder mi vida.
In the Dominican Republic, there is a province 330 square miles in size, and it has only one place children like this can go. Before this place existed, even when the local government became aware of a child being abused or a child living on the streets, the government was forced to leave them there because they had nowhere to take them. This is that place, the only place, Advocates of Love. Here, those kids get a home, food, safety, medical care, an education, a family.
At the Advocates of Love Children Home, which began 4 years ago as the very first orphan and vulnerable children care ministry, help to all of the children in this entire province. We're still the only help to the children, the orphan and vulnerable children throughout the community.
Advocates of Love currently provides all needs for 24 children. Children with heartbreaking stories who now have so much. Here are just a few of their favorite things.
Jugar con mis amigos.
Me brindan merienda, me brindan antes de acostarme otra merienda.
A mí me gustan el amor que brindan aquí.
Me gusta compartir con mis amigos, jugar, ver televisión.
Me brindan jamón, pan, seguridad.
Me gusta también los educadores que siempre dan consejos.
Mis cosas favoritas aquí son jugar pelota, cuidar a mis amigos, cuidar a los niños más pequeños y jugar cancha y fútbol y comer.
These kids lived on the streets. These kids lived in absolute poverty. Months, sometimes years, with no shoes, no food, no idea where they were going to lay down at night. And now they have all of those things.
So if these children don't have this home as an end of care option, they remain in the streets or in these abusive homes.
Advocates of Love started 4 years ago with a 3-year-old child, Dalen. Dalen's father abandoned him. His mother, addicted to drugs, would use him to beg for money, then abandon him at night. Dalen is now 7 years old and adored.
Fundación es para mí amor, felicidad y vivir con mis amigos.
The children at Advocates of Love eat healthy meals and have friendship. They get an education and regular social activities. They work on projects as teams and are cared for by a loving staff who couldn't imagine working anywhere else. This is their home too. Advocates of Love is the only place these children can go. Help us tell the world that someone is bringing hope to a place where it didn't exist until now.
Me le agradezco porque me cuidaron.
En este lugar te brindan oportunidades que tú nunca imaginaste que ibas a tener.
Aquí le van a dar todo lo que necesita.
Si hay problema, que venga a la casa de la fundación.
Oh, amazing. Another amazing work in the world from an amazing soul, Michael, leaving a lasting legacy for our children and their future. Thank you, Mike. As we are now nearing the end of our event, I want to encourage you to stay until you have exercised your opportunity to change some lives, to truly transform our world, one child at a time. You can donate now at giveoctf.com. And now let us welcome 2 more of Michael's amazing friends and partners. Ladies and gentlemen, Brian Scudamore and Dana Robinson.
Hello, Michael. Brian Scudamore here. I loved our phone call yesterday. At 85 years old, I really, really love your energy and passion for life and your ability to solve problems and ask for help. And so reaching out to me and asking for advice and support and love, I thought was fantastic. So a little message back to you. I really, really, really appreciate all you've brought to this world. And I hope you had a happy belated 85th birthday. But I want to say there's one thing that you did for me that's incredibly inspiring. And as I sit here working from my home today and was just reflecting and thinking, if I had not read the E-Myth Revisited, would I have ever franchised my business? I, with 1-800-GOT-JUNK, was a massive fan of Ray Kroc and what he built with McDonald's and what he popularized that the McDonald's brothers created. He was able to take the systems and really scale and build that brand. And I know you talk about McDonald's in your book, and you always give them as an example, which I truly believe as well as one of the greatest in the world. But it was your book. Someone, for me, who is not a reader, I've written a book, but I certainly don't really read books very well. I'm too ADD. I sat down and read your book, The E-Myth, cover to cover twice in one setting. And I can remember I was on Rathtrevor Beach in British Columbia, a beautiful sunny summer day, just like today. And there I was sitting on the beach reading that book. And I was so blown away with what I took from that book, the inspiration, the practical advice and wisdom that you shared of why businesses succeed more if they're a franchise because of the systems, the processes that are in place that help them grow and evolve. And a non-franchise business just doesn't have a fighting chance in the same way that a systematized process machine does. And so you inspired me through the book to create my business, set it up like a franchise, even if I never anticipated franchising. But by the time a couple of years later, when I started to have everything look and feel so organized and systematized, my little 1-800-GOT-JUNK company was ready for prime time. And I got out there and said, okay, I am going to look at franchising. And that was a longer road to get to the point where I sold the first franchise, Paul Guy in Toronto, who drove a truck across the country to make it happen. But he knows, I know, and all of our franchise partners across O2E brands know that if we didn't read the E-Myth, if we didn't make it mandatory reading within our company, if I didn't understand the power of systems and processes and what could truly make us great, I don't think I would have franchised the business. So huge gratitude and love to you, Michael, my friend. Thank you for sharing such an incredible collection of words of wisdom. I think your book has to be the #1 business book out there by far. And this is not a testimonial for you for the book. This is just a message of gratitude to you from me, from our team, to say thank you for all you've done in writing that fantastic book. Incredible stuff. All right. Love you, my friend. And thank you. 85 awesome years and hopefully many, many more. To you and Luz, all the best. And thank you again for all you've done for my group of companies. All right. Cheers, Michael. Have a good one.
Hey, Michael E. Gerber. It's Dana Robinson. I just want to wish you a happy 85th birthday. And I want to thank you and Luz Delia for your contribution to my life as an entrepreneur, my life as a person. I'd like to thank you on behalf of all of the entrepreneurs that I've helped over the years, because your work has contributed significantly to their lives and their success as entrepreneurs. And I can remember the first time we met, sitting across the table from you and Luz Delia and thinking, I am sitting with the mastermind, the world's #1 small business guru. And since that time, I've been ecstatic to be a part of what you're still doing. The legacy continues. And in fact, you're leveraging your notoriety right now to support causes that you believe in. And I want to encourage my followers and the people that I know to donate and give their gift to you for your 85th birthday to the charities that you support. So I'm putting this wish out there. I'll spread this around to my network. If you're watching this, reach out and honor Michael's legacy in your life and business with a donation to one of these charities. And wish him a happy 85th birthday. Thanks so much to both of you.
Thank you, Brian and Dana, for those lovely words. You know, tonight's all about love, but not just ordinary love. Tonight is about love of another kind. Demonstrating love of another kind to someone that you will never meet, but showing that kind of love, knowing that you have made the kind of difference that love of another kind can only make. Making a profound difference, a profound impact in the life of a child tonight who will go without if we don't. Tonight we can give. Let's do that right now. If you have not already, go to giveoctf.com. You still have an opportunity to invest in a child's future tonight and be entered in a raffle of prizes, which include Radical You and priceless mentoring sessions with Michael E. Gerber, the man himself. So tonight's your chance. Give. And now, one last time, from someone whose Michael's legacy truly touched.
Hello, it's David Jennings, founder of Systemology, with a message of love and life. I think as I'm getting older, I'm just starting to appreciate the small moments more and more. I know everybody's so busy, especially business owners. They're busy, lots to get done, the to-do list that never ends, and it's easy to miss those small moments. And there's just so much to be grateful and thankful for. Just recently, I had one of those small moments and I had a chance to go, oh, wow, I'm just grateful for this opportunity. I was on just the weekend just passed. It was on a Sunday. My wife said she got a message from our footy coach, or my son's footy coach, that they were looking for volunteers to come and help out for an extra training session they were going to be running on Monday morning. Now, this is Monday morning when most people are heading off to work and there's no chance that they could volunteer. But I said to my wife, yep, I'd love to, pop my name down. And I remember in the morning getting there, it was early, and I took my son, and there were kids running around, and we're right in the middle of winter here in Australia, so you breathe and you can see the condensation as it comes out of your mouth. And there's only probably a couple of dads, the trainers and the kids. And I remember thinking, oh wow, most parents can't do this. They're off at work. They don't get the opportunity to really be present and enjoy these moments with their kids. But here I was, and we were doing handballing and kicking and running drills. And then there was a section where the coach broke the kids up into some groups, and the kids got to pick which group they went to. And my son, you should have seen his face. He was so pumped and excited to be in my group and that I was there. And we did a bunch of different drills together with him and the other kids. And I just remember being so grateful for the opportunity to be present and really kind of engage in that moment. And I know, I don't really fully understand the impact those moments are going to have on him as he grows up, because there's a compounding effect. And it's all of those moments that add up that will have a marked impact on the way that he grows up and the way that he thinks about parenting and how he parents his kids. And to have that opportunity as a business owner to have been conscious about how I built a business and something that really is an expression of the life that I want to lead, like that legacy that I'm really looking at building, has just been nothing short of amazing. And I've got a huge amount of gratitude, and I owe a lot of that to Michael Gerber and his work and the way that he's really got me thinking about building a business that is not key person dependent, something that really grows and scales. And that's created all of these moments. I don't know if it's a function of my age or a function of having kids or just where I'm at right now, but there are so many of these magical moments, and I'm trying to capture and spot them and appreciate them in the moment. So a big thank you, and a big thank you to you, Michael. I appreciate and am very grateful to have you in my world.
What a tremendous impact Michael has had on people's lives, including my own. Just like David said, let us all be grateful in this opportunity we've been given to create a legacy right now for our children. This year is the start of something that will happen every year moving forward. And you get to say that you were at the first one. You were at the inaugural, first ever, Our Children, Their Future. Because we're building a legacy that will outlive us, outlive our children and their children. We can now all be philanthropic in our very own way by investing in the children of this world tonight. I encourage you to listen to your heart. My parents, I grew up in a church. We went to church in the Pacific Northwest. Both my parents were ministers. And sometimes on Sunday mornings, they would add some levity during the offer by telling a little joke. They would say, take out your wallets, ladies and gentlemen, and now hand your wallet to the person on your right. Now with this different wallet, now you can give the way you've always wanted to give. So jokes aside, I invite you tonight to truly give the way you have always wanted to give. This is your moment. Go to giveotcf.com or OCTF, giveoctf, get that right, .com. That's Our Children, Their Future. And let's all join together and change some children's lives tonight. One last time, let's welcome the amazing Michael E. Gerber.
Well, I must say this has been a delight for me. Celebrating my 85th, celebrating it with you, celebrating it with all the folks who've come here and joined us to tell us of the stories of what they have done and what they intend to do, the legacies we're bringing to the world. How exceptional it is when you think about it. All the things that have happened over these past 85 years and the things that are about to happen in my 85th and then my 86th and my 87th. I could go on and on and on and on. But even then, after having said all that, what does it come down to when we come together to speak about legacy? Our children, their children, their children, and on and on and on and on. Thank you. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for celebrating life with me. Thank you for making a difference in the world.
Wow, what an unforgettable night that we have had. And it's not too late, even if you're just joining us. Let's make these last few minutes count. Our giving lines will stay open tonight. These platforms will all stay open until midnight tonight Pacific time. Now, we want to thank everyone for joining us this evening and transforming our children's lives decades to come. That exponential impact that you have been a part of tonight. And remember, we're not done. Our giving lines will stay open until midnight tonight Pacific time. Go to giveoctf.com. And I cannot sign off without saying happy 85th birthday. Michael, thank you for creating this incredible event tonight. My name is Rich Boggs from the Brave Thinking Institute. It has been my pleasure to support this amazing event. On behalf of Michael E. Gerber, have a great night, everyone, and we will see you right here next year. Bye-bye.